right, episode 5. As you can see, we have a new guest host today, my big brother, Dave Comerford himself, the owner of Maple Co. Eric is a little under the weather, so I figured I'd take the reins.
We'll miss you, Eric.
Yep, we miss you, buddy. Hopefully we'll be on next week, but
Yeah.
how's it going, man?
I'm doing well, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. Welcome.
You're glowing over there. You look,
Thank you.
you look gorgeous.
Thank you.
We
I like
fixed
your
your microphone problem, so
yeah,
sound like
we're not all scratchy over here. Dude, I didn't know you were in
man.
Chicago this week. That's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
man. Got a
Yeah.
game, There's not many people watch, but I figured in spirit of the final week of Last Dance, I was like, I gotta bust it out. Got my Boulales hat on,
Dude,
and
yeah.
so
It's been
yeah.
it's been probably the best TV. I mean, obviously we're biased, but best TV of all time.
Someone who is considered the greatest of all time, by majority of people that watch basketball, it's kind of hard for people to not want to watch this. And whether you loved him or not, how could you not enjoy the fact that this dude is finally like opening up a little bit and letting us into kind of some of the things that went on. And
they said they already got more views than Tiger King. That's a pretty big deal.
I mean, and Tiger King has like a bunch of inbreds in the Middle Earth over there watching that shit. Like, hey, that's my cousin.
God. Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, I think I told Eric about the show when I started watching it, and he wasn't watching it yet. He told me this week that he started watching it, so I was like looking forward to having him to talk about this as well.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Have you talked about it at all on
not really
other podcasts?
Only a little bit. Actually, let me look at the write up here.
You do that
on episode 3.
While I unveil my beverage for the evening.
I can only see the label. It's a wine. Oh, there you go.
It's a lovely bottle. Yeah, sort of. It's a lovely bottle from my collection downstairs.
Nice.
And I figured, well, you said, get something to drink.
Of course, you gotta have it, so we could cheers over Zoom since we weren't able to actually see anybody.
My only lime that I had was about as hollow as a fucking, like, I don't even know what, like a coconut. I mean, it was gross. So I was like, well, you can't have a Corona without a lime. So I figured, let me bust out one of these bottles before it's 2030 and I haven't had fucking one of them yet.
Yeah.
And it's a 2010. That's a 2010 Malbec from Argentina.
Ooh, wow.
That
back in your
I was given.
Was that a gift or was it when you were working?
This was when I was actually I probably pulled it as a sample bottle. But that's so weird. I'm gonna have to figure out how to change this background thing. But
if you put it in front of you, I'll be able to see it, like directly in front of you. There you go.
Let that breathe for a second. But cheers.
Cheers. There we go. Clink.
All right. Clink, clink.
But
yeah, I got this back when I was still selling wine. So
nice. I haven't been drinking too much wine. I mean, Pinot Grigio here and there. Maybe if I grab a Pinot Noir occasionally, but lately just been the hard seltzers or beers. I know you said you were drinking some Kona earlier today. I had a 6-pack of those last week. They're good. Which ones do you have?
The Big Wave classics.
Yeah, that's what I have. They're good.
They go down smooth.
Yeah, they do.
At 9 o'clock in the morning. I mean, that's the way to do it.
Yep.
It was just one of those days. So I had to get my oil changed all the way in Waterbury. So that's why I was golfing.
Oh, because you bought the truck from out there, right?
Yeah. So I had to go all the way up there.
Yeah, nice.
But I figure what better way to kill some time.
What course did you play?
What the hell is it called? Oh my God. West something? Jesus, I'm retarded.
I could look it up here.
Waterbury.
Western Hills.
Western Hills. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Google Master over here.
Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't remember that.
Well, you had 6-pack of big waves today, so it makes sense.
No, but it was.
How'd you play?
It was. I played terrible.
But you had fun.
But I have my moments, and that's the only reason that I keep going back and playing. So,
dude, that's golf in general. You could have 17 of the worst holes of your life, and then you par that last hole, and you're like, all good.
Like, this is tomorrow. Great, dude. If I just have a string of a drive and a chip and a putt,
just the usual golf stuff.
Over the course of the 18 holes, I might have 2 of each that were good. I had a couple good drives and then a lot of bad ones. And
it's your first time out in a while, right?
Yeah, a second time. We played just on Saturday recently, nice. So that was
the weather cool. Was good though.
Saturday was absolutely freezing.
I heard, but today was good though.
Today was gorgeous.
Nice.
I actually bungled up way too much, and but it was nice. It was a really nice day, and perfect day to be out there. Definitely, not going to see too many nice days like that.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
I haven't played in a little bit. I don't think I've played since like March. But it was hot today. We had a nice week, and then it was like pretty mild all day, and then I took a ride to the grocery store, and when I left the grocery store it was 97 degrees outside. I was like, what happened?
The weather down there, man, has got to be brutal.
It's honestly, I feel like it's a little too early. Last year, it didn't really start getting hot, like really hot, until like end of July. This year, we just haven't had that much rain. We had a really really strong rainstorm a couple days ago. I don't know. Every day is blending together here. But yeah, it was a couple days ago where it rained all day, but that was probably the first time that happened all year.
Yeah.
It's not like it was last year. Like, remember how I was showing you, like, we went to the creeks and all that stuff?
Yeah.
All that is dry.
Well, we're crazy. We're over here, and Marcella just told me that the weather forecast for tomorrow is like grade out of a scale of 5. It's like 2 or 3 category thunderstorms or whatever, but with like hail and potential tornadoes.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what?
What happened?
Like, okay.
I guess we're staying inside.
So, I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow, but
I think tomorrow's going to be decent here, but I know Saturday is going to it's like 100% chance of rain all day. So we need it.
Yeah, dude.
But how's everything else going? How's the job? The fans want to know how's Maple Co. doing? We got some listeners here, maybe like 3 or 7. But...
3 or hey, you know what? If we reach 1, that's all that matters. It's going heart. Well, man.
Touch one heart.
Touch one heart. Just it's going well, man. I actually really, especially during this whole time, I mean, not to get too serious or whatever, but you definitely are grateful for the fact that I actually have work and people, still need things done. And I've had, been fortunate enough to have people call me and want me to do things for them. So it's really, it's been huge, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are struggling, and it's not easy. So, any way that I can, help too. Like I've actually had, a couple of family members, like Marcella's family, friends and stuff, that people have been out of work for a little while. that I didn't know, but I found out that they were not working, and I was like, hey man, if I can help them, I'll bring them on and let them do some things. So
it's awesome, man.
Yeah, it helps me, and it's I mean, I've always been kind of like, since I started, it's been a pretty small operation, but
dude, you're growing. How long has it been now? Year and a half?
It's going on 2 years. It'll be 2 years in September. So
crazy.
Time
is flying.
It flies, man, and I'm still sipping on wine that I had when I was selling liquor a couple of years ago. So,
dude, hey.
But yeah, it's it's one of those things, like I really am. I really mean it. Like I'm really like grateful that I get people to hire me to do this stuff, like to hire me to like do something that I enjoy. And it took long enough to kind of figure out something that I'd be, that I could make a living at, but also have my freedom and enjoy what I'm doing.
That's what everybody's looking for, man. We talk about that all the time. That's everyone's on their own path, but I mean, like I tell you all the time, I'm proud of you, and like the fact that you found something that you're good at, and like you're very good at it, and you enjoy it is huge, and like you enjoy helping people, and I'm sure now people are like obviously sitting at their house and they're like,
we could do something with that.
We can blow that wall down.
Why is that wall there? Dude, seriously, like you get, there's definitely some people that have, they're still busy and they're still working. And so, and they're going to need things done. And I feel like it's, one of those type of careers. And I think especially now, I'm sure people are looking at career choices like, what do we do as like a safety net? Because I mean, all those people that wanted to open restaurants and all that, and certain things like you got to look at differently now. Like, what happens if everything kind of goes to a halt, and there's not always like a necessity for like the things that I do. You don't necessarily need a new bathroom. Like, like if you can go take a shit and take a shower and brush your teeth.
You don't need
you don't need that, but you might want it.
What are the kind of, I just did an Eric Francis out there. What are some of the jobs that you've been doing recently?
Well, recently, I did it was kind of a multi-part project. It was just an entryway. When you came into the house, there was a couple of the railings. Right? Nicole and Mario. Yeah. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about them on here.
Listen.
Like, hey, all right. So Nicole and Mario's house. And they wanted to kind of create a better flow in the house. It was very compartmentalized, and I believe they had additions too at one point. So they had like this really big living room that was added on, but the original house had a wall that kind of blocked when you came into the foyer pretty much from the rest of the house. So that was a part of it. Also, then they moved a dining room from one room to the other, and they wanted to have view from where the staircase was, so you can see through, and try to open that up and just create. It wasn't a complete like gut job, where you don't have to go and do like kinds of crazy surgery to make this house feel bigger and more open, but knock a wall down, a couple walls, open up some things.
Did you come up with like the design, or they already had an idea of what they wanted to do?
They actually kind of had a pretty good idea of what they wanted to do, and then I just helped them work out the details. And just a couple things like we were trying to gain as much like height as we could on the walls and stuff, where they had someone that told them, I can only go so high, and that was it. So we were able to gain a lot of height and really open it up, and it was really cool. Actually, their parents came by the last day I was there, and we were just kind of like cleaning up and doing some touch-up paint and stuff. And they were really like, it was cool to see that they were kind of blown away with the transformation and stuff. So
that's awesome.
That was really cool. And that's, it's really like what I love about when I do this stuff is, the finished product. There's a lot of, um, like cursing at myself sometimes, and
believe me, I know.
smashing,
you've been like that your whole life.
Yeah. Like I mean, I bruise my own body, for no reason, sometimes by accident. I mean, there's a lot of dumb things that go on, but at the end of the day, like I also like, so the other project is we were kind of doing them simultaneously. This other one is a second floor renovation. So not touching the bathroom. The bathroom had been done not that long ago, but the whole upstairs, it's 3 bedrooms that needed to be basically just fixed up. New sheetrock or refinished sheetrock, new lighting, new electrical, and all that stuff. Obviously fresh paint. But the master bedroom, we took and blew up the ceiling and added a closet and did some stuff. And that one was actually a really cool project to mess around with on the computer too. And I've always been into doing like the design, but I recently started using a new software called Foyer.
Oh yeah, I think you told me about that.
Yeah, it's an online based software so you use it just like directly on the web. There's no like that, download it. So you actually just use everything right there. And it's really good for like interior design and stuff. I did something for like an outdoor patio, which was kind of cool, but this gave me an opportunity to really like show what it could look like. And
that's awesome.
And it renders and makes these beautiful finished products, and it's like it's amazing. It's worth the money, for anybody who's like kind of into that stuff and wants to show stuff, some things to their clients, because I feel like everyone sees all this shit on like Fixer Upper and HGTV, Property Brothers, all that, and they're like, they see some, they expect everybody to have like this beautiful like rendering of what their house could look like. And people, I don't think, realize how hard that can be. But
it's a lot of work. I mean, Britt did that for a little bit, and I mean, she's always been into the interior design and stuff with real estate, and it takes a lot of work. It's tough to get it to look like it does on TV and stuff. It takes a lot of work. And I know you got your like very designy background, so I mean, you do some good stuff. But do you think that like that all that stuff being on HGTV has made clients like more aware of what's available and how things should be done?
I don't know. I think there's positives and negatives to all that stuff on TV. Because if you really look at it, nothing's, even the best shows, like my favorite shows like Fixer Upper and stuff, I don't think even those are 100% like, unscripted. Like, so there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and they kind of make things very simplified when they're going through jobs and projects and stuff like that. But if you're talking about just like the design element, I don't know. I definitely think that it's definitely opened people's eyes to that. But what can be done. But I don't think there's a lot of people that would ask for that. I kind of offer it as a service, just because I enjoy doing it too. It's like, it's fun.
You have a
it's
good
fun
eye
for me.
You have a good eye for that stuff. You've always been good at that.
But I mean, it's more like the downtime, like creating something. Like I don't really work on music anymore. It's just been like too much stuff. Like,
dude, you found your passion. It's all good,
so
that's great.
But it gives me a chance to kind of be creative and mess around with things, so I like it.
That's great. Do you still have project lineup? Are you taking in new clients all the time, or?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a juggling match. In the beginning, I feel like when you're just starting out, I don't really know how anybody, could do it any more efficient. And, because you're in it, you also want to make money. You're there to make a living. But you got to come to a breaking point where you can say, all right, I can afford to now maybe pay someone to like be the person to go find jobs or whatever. But it takes a while. Like I'm, it's been a couple of years. I was hoping maybe I'd have like some guys that are a little more permanent to do things, but some stuff doesn't always require help, and it's tough to keep guys employed. So it's definitely a juggling match. And I tend to be like doing the work, going and seeing the jobs,
Dude, you're
putting
young,
together,
man.
putting together quotes,
10 years from now, you'll have other people doing your stuff. You still could do it. And I mean, it's a learning experience. So that's,
it'll take some time. I mean, but that's part of my like approach, is making sure that I'm, the face of the business.
Yeah. I mean, you're starting out. That's what you got to do, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can't expect anybody to just hire me off of my, couple of reviews online and stuff. Like I have to, sell myself, I think, in a way in the beginning.
What do you use for reviews? Do you have?
I mean, I honestly don't really put much effort into it. I was before, but some people left reviews on Google and Facebook and stuff, but
you have your own website, right?
Yeah, I have the website.
I'll have to throw that on the YouTube video.
Yeah.
I'll throw a little link on the bottom there.
There you go. Sure. So yeah, it has all my any photos that I put up on Instagram go to Facebook and then the website too. Nice. But I've actually gotten some local people that are in like some of these groups, I guess, that are like, I don't know if I think there's a Milford group that people are looking for work. Someone throws a name out there and someone says, hey, I need this done. And that's actually how the recent job the second floor renovation, somebody found me online and gave me a call, and I I stopped what I was doing. I went and took a look at the job immediately and did the rendering, did the the whole design for them, and try to blow them away with that. And and then they see the
job.
Yeah, so it's awesome, it doesn't just fall on your lap. And I don't think I would be getting people recommending me if I wasn't attempting to do good work. So
so for I mean, obviously everyone has a lot of downtime now, including myself. A lot of people are picking up new hobbies.
Don't let Indeed hear that.
I mean, outside of work.
Like, I was fishing a little while ago.
Yeah, dude, 8 to 5, I'm slammed, or even sometimes after. But after that, you got a lot of time in your hands. There's nothing on TV other than like stuff on Netflix. But I know people are always looking for new hobbies. Brian Newell, I'm talking about you. I probably shouldn't have said your last name on this, but it is what it is. He was looking for hobbies. If someone's looking to like get into a hobby of like woodworking or like that, the do-it-yourself stuff, what's the number one tool you should have?
I know you mentioned this to me to think about, and I've actually pondered it for a little while. And actually to me, it's a hard question. Because I mean, if you're thinking of doing like woodwork and stuff, I mean, there's no real easy way to get into it. But I think the DIY like home, being able to like do a little handyman stuff, there's a few things that you definitely need. I mean, I wouldn't go anywhere without like a power drill. Yeah. That's like an impact driver and a power drill. You can get like a combo. Something with batteries, whatever, obviously, but I mean, I would say there's a few, like, to narrow it down to just one, like,
all right, top 3.
I mean, top three. I don't know. I'd say you gotta have some sort of power drill. You gotta have, I mean, if you're gonna do any kind of like cutting or anything, you gotta have probably a saw, you know, like a miter saw at home. And you don't have to spend a lot of money, but geez, I mean, like, who doesn't have like a hammer? I mean, you know, that those are like the basic things.
Right.
But
fair enough.
I don't know. I think I mean, Clint Eastwood would say like duct tape and fucking WD-40, but
dude, that's all you need.
I don't know what you're fixing with WD-40.
Dude, I keep a can in the house and in the garage at all times because you
no,
just never
it's good
know,
to have. I'm not trying to shit on WD-40, but you can't really, you know, fix a hole in your ceiling,
dude.
You know,
if you use it right,
just spray a little WD up there, little duct tape.
Dude, I fixed a few things with duct tape, especially. Actually, speaking of Brian, there was a time in high school. Obviously, we were playing lacrosse and we're taking some shots with a lacrosse ball onto his couch. I can't remember if it was myself or him. We went a little high over the couch and the ball went directly into the wall. His parents weren't home, and so I think me and our friend Steve put our heads together, got a Pringles can top. I think we stuffed it with like paper and some duct tape and then put plaster over it. They didn't know there was a hole in the wall until like 5 years later.
That's amazing. Oh, the Pringles can.
Yep.
Dude. Yep. It's crazy some of the stuff you'll find in walls though. That's it's just like the random shit you'll like come across.
Oh god.
It's just nothing bad. It's just like it was just funny. Like like I did Aunt Judy's and Uncle Joe's bathroom, and I'm opening up the walls and for if you're if you're thinking about becoming a contractor and doing bathrooms, don't do a house that was built in 1930 or before, because their fucking bathrooms are bunkers. Like they were preparing for World War II or one, whatever was going on. Holy God. But anyway, so I'm opening up the walls and I'm like, and these like baseball cards are like falling down and I'm like, and so we were like racking our brain, like who was like shoving them in the wall, like under the medicine cabinet or something. It ended up being they came from the attic. But they were all like these baseball players that like no one ever heard of from the 80s. Just the worst just the worst baseball players ever.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, I'm thinking he's like sitting on the can getting his pack of baseball cards and he's like looking at all these bums and he's just like shoving them in the in the wall. I'm like, who does that? That was what I thought happened, and I'm like, oh, it probably just came from the attic. That makes a lot more sense. But
we go ridiculous and funny first before we go logical.
Yeah. Like, oh, it could have fallen with that whole gravity thing.
Oh my god, that is funny. Well, I mean, I'll throw your link on the closing slide in the link here, but just so if people are interested or looking for work, obviously I'm not in the state, but you're in Connecticut, so if anyone needs work, but I think that's good information, man. But aside from that, so outside of work, I know you've been working your ass off, but have you been what other stuff have you been doing? Did you watch the UFC fights over the weekend? I sent you the link.
I was having we were supposed to do our podcast and
yes. For people that don't know, we were supposed to do this episode last week. We had some technical difficulties.
Which turned out to actually not be technical. I mean, they were technical difficulties, but it was I was mistaken, I guess. Basically, we have our I want to throw these things all through the wall. So and I'm probably going to get a whole new Wi-Fi setup. But our TV downstairs a Roku and it's plugged in to the Ethernet, and that is plugged into the router, the Wi-Fi, but it also has the wired connections. So apparently the Wi-Fi was working, but the wired connection was like just losing connection. So something's wrong with the hardware itself. But I'm like, well, the TV is not working, so then we probably don't have internet. And I didn't even really go on my phone or didn't even really check anything else to see if it was working. And so we're just sitting there like checking the TV, trying to get it to unplugging everything, and it wasn't working. And I'm like, why don't I just try to switch this to Wi-Fi on the Roku and see if it works? And it came on. And I was like, you fucking kidding me? It was already like 10 o'clock at night. But
dude, I mean,
yeah, so
I mean, we're here now, but I mean, we run into that yesterday. I think it was yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before. I wanted to snap this laptop in half. It was so annoying. Like internet issues, it said it was fully connected, couldn't load anything. And then before that, earlier in the day, I had a meeting. I hopped on the meeting. No sound was working. Not my headphones, not the speakers. I have a meeting with my manager. And I'm like, okay. So I restart it. It works. And then like an hour later, the internet's not working. And I'm like, dude. Like
it's beyond, it's this whole, like, it's not just you. It's everybody. And honestly, I mean, like, I know we're doing this little like one-on-one thing, but like, is there really a need for like 20 people to go on and to have like some chat together? I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of useless bandwidth that's being taken up right now. And like,
that could be used for things like this.
God damn it. Like, it's just ridiculous. But like, why? I mean, like, dude, the internet cuts out like constantly.
Yeah. We honestly, we haven't like, that was like this computer issue, but our internet hasn't been too bad. But I've heard of a lot of people that like internet's been terrible. Maybe because like we have newer hardware and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just, and I think everyone's got, like, with everything going on, everyone's got a little bit of a short fuse occasionally. I'm usually pretty calm, but I was like,
dude, when it happens constantly though, and it's like when you're trying to do something, and then you're like,
to hit deadlines with stuff. Yeah. It's like I'm typically just like, oh, it looks like you're frozen, so I'm gonna wait a minute, and then they come back and they're like, wait, what is the last thing you heard? And I'm like, okay.
Did you see the guy? It's like not Geico, the Progressive commercial where they're having the like the whatever Zoom chat kind of thing.
Yeah, yep.
And like Flo's like, can you hear me? Like, dude, they get it like spot on though, because it's like one guy's vacuuming. Like, turn your mic off, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my God, me and Eric talked about this. They had a class and people were like, there was an echo going on and no one could figure it out for like an hour. And it's just, people are just clueless. I had a team meeting this past week and there was someone on my team that, like, I had it in gallery mode so you could see everybody. So it's like 8 of us. And one person was just like, I was like, did they fall asleep?
Is that the crypt keeper right there?
And then the screen went away. It was like that for like probably a couple minutes. And then the screen went away. It came back up, and I was like, all right, they're frozen. But I was sitting there on mute, and I'm like, what is going on? You're just gonna fall asleep on a team meeting? Like, it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's funny.
Oh my God.
But as far as, so you asked about the fight.
Yes.
I did not watch the pay-per-view part of it, but I did watch the prelims.
Nice. What do you think about it's the first major sporting event since it's started, and there were no fans. What did you think?
Well, aside from the fact that they were trying to charge so much money for the pay-per-view event during this whole thing, I thought that was really shitty.
Yeah, I agree.
$65 plus tax is fucking insane. I don't care who they are. Like, I get it. Like, yes, you want to try to make money, but like, really? Like and my hope was that people didn't buy it because they saw that price tag and they're like, dude, do I really
I
care?
think
Like
they should have been. It should like $40.
$40 was the exact price.
40
40
or
bucks,
50.
40. I'll drop it any day. You start
Easy.
creeping above $50 for
Yeah.
UFC, dude. I'm
Only
sorry.
like
Like,
almost $70, and it's like,
yeah, like not for me and one other person who's not going to watch the fucking thing
yeah,
and they're going to
yeah,
fall asleep, and I'm
yeah,
probably going to fall asleep before the main
yeah,
card
yeah,
to like piss my money
yeah,
away. Like it was crazy. So no, I
yeah.
didn't
It's
even waste my
interesting.
time.
It was interesting that they, I mean, out of
Because that,
everyone, I mean, who knows if they reported everything, but they only had one person, aside from his direct team, only had one person that ended up getting the virus, and they were testing these guys daily. So I think, I mean, for sports, just the sports in general, I think it was a good step for them to like get back to it. They kind of set the groundwork for it, but
definitely.
from like actually having fans, I don't know if that's going to happen. Like just like big gatherings in general. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, we kind of talked about this, I think, a little bit about the way that the viewing it is on
Mhm.
TV. I thought it was kind of cool.
I thought it was
I
cool.
feel
Yeah.
I feel like we're never gonna really see this again.
Yeah.
And to do like if I were an athlete or something like that, I'd be like, hey man, like that we're gonna be a part of like history right now. We're gonna be a
Yeah.
part of like a really crazy time that people will look back on and be like,
Hmm.
wow, like that was insane. Like there's a lot of guys that probably don't want to perform in front of
Hmm.
no fans,
Hmm.
but I think it was actually pretty badass.
I thought it
Like
was
they're
really
just
cool. I
getting in
liked it a
there
lot.
and there
I
was
liked it a
no
lot.
bullshit. Like
Yep.
they didn't do them. I don't didn't even do music.
I
They were
think
just
they
they just
did,
like
but it
showed
was.
up and they were just like in the ring. I was
I
like,
think it
I was
was
watching
because
prelims.
there's no distractions. They just walk in, they do
Yeah, I
the
think they were
little
just there.
"Hey, what's up?" and that's
Yeah.
it. I think
Now,
like
did Bruce Buffer do the whole craziness at
yeah,
like
he operated just like normal.
during the big ones, the big fights? He
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He operated
that's
just like
funny.
normal, which was
I was
cool.
curious if he was gonna do that or not.
I was honestly like the main event too. It was funny because it's like they were still doing the cameras like a normal event. So he's
Yeah.
like, "It's time," and they zoom out, and it's like, well, there's no one
Yeah.
here. So,
So speaking of cameras,
Mm,
I I really hope someone hears this because if they have more fights, um, like I thought that if you don't have fans,
mm,
why not have some crazy cameras going on? Like,
yeah.
do you know like football? They had those big ass like crane things that are on the
Oh, you're
sidelines, and
saying
they're
like
like
getting it like really moving
yeah,
around a
like
lot?
instead of just being the standard camera angles, like
Yeah.
have some crazy camera setup, like something that's like either like because you don't have to worry about fans being like blocked by
Yep.
some big camera thing going on
Yeah.
or big rig. So why not have something that flies around or can get right over them and really get like some
Yeah.
crazy views or like a fucking drone or something like
Yeah.
something crazy that could
Yeah.
be
That would be cool.
like there's
Uh,
no one there. Why
yeah. I
like
mean,
something
now's
like
the
that would
time
be
to like
nuts.
test out some new stuff.
Yeah, or
I
just
think you're right.
make it more like a little more like something special about it. I mean,
Yeah.
you're already taking away like the fans and stuff. I
Hmm.
think that honestly, I think like Joe and what's his name, Cormier, you know,
Yeah.
they did a great job. I forget
Oh
who the
yeah.
other guy was, but they actually like. I mean, they're always good. You
Yeah.
know, I love
But
Joe
they
Rogan's
they
amazing.
yeah, they
Um,
were great. He said too afterward, he was like, "I'm just grateful to like be here. Like this is a moment, and like you said, it's a
yeah,
moment in history. Like it's
yeah,
pretty crazy, and it's gonna be interesting to see um like what other major sports do.
well,
Like NBA, they're considering reopening in the summer. Um I mean, who knows? But like
I don't.
they just got to get the testing done. I don't,
Yeah,
dude. I mean, after hearing what Mom said about the testing and everything, like how badly it hurt, the fact that these
yeah,
guys were like the week leading up to the fight, they're getting tested every day is
yeah,
insane. And like even
yeah,
for NBA players, like that's nuts.
yeah.
And like they got to come up with something better. But I think if they do, I mean, they'll probably be the first people to test it out if they have some new tests, right?
I mean, I don't know how there's not just like a simple like blood test. I mean,
I guess I guess
yeah.
they have the blood test, but like I don't know. There's
Yeah.
so many
I haven't
unknowns.
I haven't really been following enough, so I mean, I'm kind of ignorant to what might be out there, but
Dude, it's pointless. It's
yeah,
just it's exhausting. It's
yeah,
like I honestly
it really is.
I want to have Rob on
Yeah,
in a not next week, but maybe the week after, since he's been on the front lines to like ask some questions. And because it's like no one knows what's there's so many unknowns, and I think that's why people are getting so frustrated,
yeah.
because like no one knows what the hell is going on.
Well,
And it's
and
like,
there's not really any like I feel like everyone's doing their thing as far as like masks and all and trying to keep
yeah,
their distance. But people are out there. They are
yeah,
driving around. They're doing shit.
yeah,
They're at the store. They're
yeah.
like, and it's crazy, man. Like it's
I think people are just like, dude, we did what you said we needed to do.
well,
Like,
yeah. But I mean, and that's I think the kind of the whole I don't know. We haven't really maybe talked about this, but I've felt and I've listened to other podcasts. I know there's like
mhm,
always that instant gratification that we have like today, with our phones and being able to just be like, I don't know something. I boop, boop, boop,
yeah,
type it in. I know,
yeah,
like I want to find this. I want to find that. Like information and everything you want is always like pretty
hmm,
much right there. You want to watch a show, like,
hmm,
whatever you want. It's instant gratification.
yeah,
And I don't think people can really handle it that well anymore. Like, because I feel like if this was back in like the 80s or
yeah.
90s, like
People will be like, all
I
right,
think that would be
whatever, dude.
a little easier.
Yeah.
And
I
everyone.
think what you I think I get what you're getting at, like not knowing and like not being able to figure it out either. Like even like,
Well, that part, yeah, I
yeah,
get that, but I was just saying as far as like not knowing, but also just getting frustrated and wanting
yeah,
to just be like, well, you know what, I don't care. I'm
yeah,
just gonna go out anyway, and I'm just
yeah.
gonna like,
I don't
dude,
know. I've heard people. Mm,
Wisconsin. Did you hear about them?
no,
Yeah, they're opening up.
yeah. I mean, Texas started opening up, but they're doing it slowly.
Not
But
like
hearing people like, oh man, like I'm not gonna wear a mask. It's like, I mean,
that's just wear a
why?
mask for a little
Like
while.
it's
Like,
yeah. I mean, it's like, dude, it's not even. It's just you got to take care of your like community and the people around
yeah,
you. Like no one really knows,
yeah,
but like I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna wear a mask. And then I went to the store today, and that thought literally went through my head. Like there's a lot of older people here.
yeah.
The last thing I want to do is if I and what if I'm like asymptomatic or whatever they say, and I actually do have it. Who knows? I've never gotten tested. I don't have any symptoms. Um, But I mean, you
And
have
then you give it to someone, and
yeah,
then
you
you
have older
like,
people walking around. It's like, dude, if if the best thing I could do right now is throw a mask on when I'm around people, then
yeah,
you got it. I'll do
just
it.
do it.
I don't care, man. Like
Yeah,
it's all good. I just people are getting frustrated, and I get it. And it's like, but you gotta. No one really knows. And
yeah,
like, if you got to take a couple safety precautions,
yeah,
so what, man?
yeah,
Like, it's like wearing a seatbelt when you're driving a car.
yeah.
Who gives a shit? Just throw it on.
It's not that big of a deal. Like it sucks. I mean, granted, I think the worst part about this whole thing is just not being able to like go out to eat
Yeah.
and go to, because I mean, like, other than I mean, like, yeah, okay, like the movies, like, do I really, like, okay, whatever, that's not a
Mhm.
big deal. But like not being able to like go out to eat or go to a bar or go what and chill and do something like that sucks. That's the probably the
Yeah.
worst part about it.
Yeah. I mean, for
Especially
us,
probably
it's
down in
like
Austin
I
too.
was
Like
just gonna say, like
you're in
sitting
like
down
the
here.
yeah. I mean, like
I know.
you might have to
Come.
extend your stay down there to who knows if I
Yeah.
don't know if you ever plan on coming back to Connecticut, but I mean,
Yeah.
you
I don't
know,
know. I mean,
I
we've been sitting here, and it's like coming into 2020. It's like, dude, Austin's the best place to live in the country, and it's
yeah,
like,
and you can't even
cool.
do
We
anything.
can't do
Yeah.
anything. I mean, honestly, I'm like I'm grateful to be here right now because number one, the weather's been good. But the outbreak wasn't that bad, especially
Mm.
for a major city. because I think they were ahead of it, because like we had South by Southwest coming up right when this thing started coming in, and like they were like, oh shit, there's a little bit of an outbreak. All these big companies and tech companies caught wind of it, and they're like, dude, I'm not going. And then once that got canceled, then it was, everything started getting shut down, because it's like, dude, that's a worldwide event. And if that's getting canceled, this shit must be for real. And I think that, and it sucked. Like, I was looking forward to experience it, but in a way it was a blessing, because we had all eyeballs on us, and we were ahead of it. I mean, like you said, I was probably one of the first people I knew that where my company was like, everyone's working from home. And I mean,
you gotta get on Rob about it when you get him on here. Be like, remember when you were like, this is stupid,
oh
dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fucking staying from home. Oh my god, this is like a cold, bro.
Yep, I know. I want to hear his input on it. But yeah, I mean, it's just it sucks that we can't get to experience a city, but like they closed them for a little bit, but they've had the state parks open and stuff, and they're maintaining that well. So we're able to still go out. Even the state parks, they limit access. And I think starting this week, you have to buy day passes. You can't just show up anymore. So you have to basically make a reservation. So right out of the gate, they already have a count of who's allowed in. And like, we went to one a couple weeks ago, and like, huge park. The place is it's called Pace Bend Park. It's 1,100 square miles or 1,100 acres, sorry, which is enormous. And like, it was like, there were a lot of people in there, but it's so big that you had your own space. I mean, there was no one within like 25 yards of us. And they still closed it off. When we're pulling out, they were at capacity. And it's that's how you should be doing this. So they're doing a nice job. And I think, but again, they didn't have the outbreak like the Northeast had. Like, New York is so dense, and like, everyone's.
Well, and then you get everybody. I mean, really, Connecticut is pretty bad too, and it's like
Fairfield County has just as many cases as the whole state of Texas.
Yeah, and it's all the people. You know, I mean, I can only imagine it's people traveling in and out of the city, and you know, people not taking it seriously, and you know, fuck, I'm from New York, man, I'm tough. You know, like, ain't no fucking coronavirus gonna get me. Like, okay.
And dude, I mean, and you never know. Like, dude, our mom had it, and I mean, she's 64, and I mean, she's in good shape now, good health standing, and but I mean, thank God. I mean, she had it, but she made it through, and she didn't even really notice it. And I think it's just, I think if they are going to continue to like limit people, like some places like LA is crazy. They're on complete lockdown until like August. And but I think if they like, to tell people to stay inside for like another 3-6 months is crazy. But I think from what we've learned, it seems like it's people that have underlying health issues and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, we kind of figured that out. Let's make sure those people are taken care of. And but the other people.
But the crazy thing is, there are people that don't have issues. That don't have anything. They're completely healthy. And they die. And that's also I don't know if that's, I mean, I don't watch the news enough to know what they're talking about, but I don't know if that's really something that's like common knowledge. Like, there's definitely, I've heard
I feel like
from several people.
I don't watch the news much. I just read the like news in the morning. I can't sit there and watch these morons.
No, it's too much.
But I like to read. But yeah, I've definitely heard that. But I think Bruce, he said it best. He was like, you don't think it's real until someone close to you has that happen. And I mean, even again, to learn that our mom had it was like, Britt and I both said to each other when this happened, I'm mentally prepared to hop in a car and drive back to Connecticut. Don't care. I'll drive the 30 hours straight like if anything
Yeah.
happens, and it's like you don't. All these people talk a big game and like this is stupid until you have something like that happen that close to
Yeah.
home, and then you're like, oh shit, this is for real.
Yeah. And
And
yeah, it's crazy that people like kind of take it so lightly. And
yeah,
like Marcella, she's got to go back
mm.
to she went back to the office
Did
this
she?
week. And
Wow.
I was like, I mean, I only have a few people in the office,
Mm.
but it's like we have two monitors here. She's got her laptop as well,
Yeah.
so she's got three monitors. She's more productive, honestly, at
Mm-hmm.
home because without like people bugging her and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
Why?
yeah, why do we need do that? Like it
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like unnecessary. But those are certain things you just can't control.
Yeah.
Um, but you just try to be safe, and
Yeah.
that's really all you can do. But I mean, I'm
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's probably heard this at nauseum, trying to
Oh
hearing about
yeah.
all this stuff, and
Yeah.
like that's the new norm when you like instead of being like, oh, take care, it's like, all right, be safe,
Yeah.
wash it,
Yeah.
wash
Wash
your
your
ass,
hands. Wash your
wash
ass.
wash your ass.
Oh, that's great. Dude, honestly,
Don't
it's
forget to flush twice.
dude, I mean, yeah, it's definitely changed our like culture and like the worldwide, and
Yeah.
but it's interesting. But I mean, it's like in situations like this, rather than getting upset, you just got to roll with the punches.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like if you're, like you said, talking about being grateful, I'm grateful to like be healthy, the family's healthy, Britt is healthy, everyone on her side of the family is healthy. We still have a job,
Speaking
and
of being thankful, we have Terry the thankful turkey here.
oh, see, there you go. Little plug, little plug. But
Terry
yeah,
the
man. I
thankful
mean,
turkey, always thankful.
yeah,
And we have Gary the grateful
the grateful
gopher
gopher. There it is.
coming out this fall.
But yeah, man. I mean, that's all you can do, and there's always the people that are
And this
gonna have their opinion, but it's fine. I operate, and I think, I mean, you're the same. Like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, me.
Yeah.
And
Well,
like,
this is the time though, I feel like people could take to pick up something different, like
yeah,
do
we
something
talked
that,
about that, like hobbies. People like
yeah.
have we crack up about it. It's like we're constantly like, I'm freaking growing tomatoes in the
I
back.
know, dude.
I'm doing a
Freaking
podcast. I'm
Dr.
freaking
Green Thumb over there.
Dr. Green Thumb. Like I started, I talked about it in previous episodes of like I started writing in a journal again, just because, just to like document this time. I thought it would be cool. Brit,
John's
same
journal.
thing. Yeah, I think that's what I have it written as. But yeah, I mean, like people should be taking this time to like look at something that something that you've always been interested in, or something that you used to do that you stopped doing that you really enjoyed, and try
Yeah.
to pick that up. I mean, now is the time. You have the time in your hands. Like it's,
Yeah.
again, it's a, like, I'm not a religious guy, but it's a blessing that
Yeah.
this is not typical.
There's
Like
only so many fucking Netflix shows you can watch until you want to fucking gouge your eyes out. Like,
dude,
just
seriously.
like, dude, we were at my brother-in-law Marcio's house, Marcio and Cass, and Cass was doing crochet. Like she had some
Dude,
stuff that
that's
she made. I
awesome.
was like, she pulled out this stuff. I'm like, dude, this is
That's so
like
cool.
legit. I'm
Yeah.
like, I will buy one off of it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and
That's what
those
people
are
should
things.
be
It's like,
doing.
yeah, do something that people can, if you're out of work, you gotta
Yeah.
figure out something that you could do that you
Yeah.
enjoy and that yeah.
I mean,
That
Brit started
maybe you can make some
painting
money.
again.
Yeah,
Brit started painting. She's been doing like more photography and
she's
stuff and working on it.
painting cars.
Yes, paint cars.
I paint cars. Come down to my body shop.
But yeah, man, that's what people should be doing. And I mean, if you aren't, then I feel sorry for you. You're wasting
Yeah.
time. I mean, it's like nowadays, it's not like it used to be where you had time in your hands. Everyone's always preoccupied with something. Yeah. And I mean, now you have time to actually like sit down.
You should have some more time. I mean, like, I don't know what else you could be doing. I mean, unless you're super busy. But I mean, the average person who probably is a little, I know there's the parents and stuff that, that's a whole nother story. People with like the kids and stuff. I'll leave that one for Rob to talk to you about. But like that's a whole nother story. But I mean, like we're doing, we actually ripped up the deck at the house over here.
Oh, nice.
And we're gonna just redo that. It was like falling apart. So
nice.
Like probably 25-30-year-old deck just rotting away.
Dude, real quick.
Yeah.
Britt has brought it to my attention that I think it stems from our father. We both say over here all the time.
Hey, over here.
Yeah, over here.
Oh God.
Dude, I do it all the time, and I was on the phone with him recently, and he was like, "Yeah, I was doing this over here," and I'm like, that's it. That's where it's from."
He's all about. So I says the guy, and he said, and then I said this, and then I'm like, "Oh my God, Dad!"
I love the dialogue, but I just wanted to let you know.
So I says to him, "Dad, I can't take it."
He's the best.
Yeah,
but
his old precious little knees are, I guess, healing up a little bit after his little tumble.
Dude, I wish I kept my jump soles. I would send them to him.
You see him just bouncing around. Those varicose veins there.
Dude, no, his legs are clean now.
High socks with just his big ass fucking what's that big river down there over by you? Is it Colorado River? Or no, what's
Colorado River. There's Colorado River rips through, or
big ass windy ass river veins going through his knees and shit.
Oh man. But what a guy.
Dude, so we didn't really talk about the fights. The fights
yeah, I mean
they were good.
Yeah, they were good. But I'm excited for other sports that at the end of the month there's the Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning match.
Peyton Manning.
That's going to be cool. Yes.
That's awesome. Cool. Yeah. Like why it hasn't been more, I mean, maybe it just hasn't been approved or whatever, but there should be stuff like that going on.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about like two idiots playing NBA 2K on their fucking
those
living
room.
Terrible. Like,
oh my God,
get out of here.
But dude, and
then you got the dude. Then you got the NASCAR guy. Did you hear about the NASCAR guy?
No.
Oh man, he ruined his life right there. Dude, poor guy. Not poor guy. He's an idiot, actually. But he it's actually that he dropped the N-bomb.
No.
During, like, he thought no one could hear him, and then everybody was like, "Bro, everyone can hear you, right?" And then he was like, "Oh," and he tried this bullshit apology and everything.
Oh my God!
Yeah, you should be gone. Dude, and
it's 2020, cut it out.
Yeah, the guys over there, man. I don't know, and like, I mean, this was a few weeks ago, but they were talking about it on ESPN and stuff, and it's just really like ESPN. But it's just that there's still a lot of that crazy racism that goes on. It's like, I don't know. It's really, it's kind of amazing that it's still like that, but I don't know. I mean,
that's a whole nother can of worms I don't want to.
I know. Into. Yeah, that could take up three podcasts right there.
Yeah, but man,
systemic oppression.
Yeah.
So Last Dance.
Oh yes.
You haven't talked about it.
I know. We talked about it a little bit in the beginning.
Let's discuss.
Okay,
so
for anyone who's not interested in this, you could just move on to your next podcast because we're about to go deep.
And if you're not interested in this, then I don't know what your problem is. But yeah.
So I was gonna say before, I think this whole documentary, aside.
And by the way, I know we're at an hour. I don't really care.
Oh no, it's
we
fine.
can go. We can go as long as you want.
Yeah. Aside from like it being about sports, Michael Jordan, I think just as a documentary in general, if you're interested in like a point in time where like talking about like one of the greatest sports teams ever, it's interesting. I mentioned it to Grandma recently, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that does sound pretty interesting." She's like, "Yeah, I might check it out." I'm like, "Yeah, it's awesome."
It's really.
I think it's been great, man. It's been done so well.
And I know that, I mean, they really like have turned, since there's nothing to talk about on sports TV, like ESPN or whatever. They make like full shows about discussing the documentary. It's like, okay, you're going a little overboard here, but
dude, they have nothing else to talk about.
But it's I think it's worthy of that kind of discussion and just talking about it. But it really, I mean, to me it's just like I grew up. You were a little young, but like I was around when I remember sort of like that first like three-peat of the Bulls, and I was a fan, and I don't think our parents really had the money to bring us to like an actual game when Jordan was playing in his prime, but I did go to a Bulls Knicks game in the year that he was gone. Yeah. And I actually remember wearing my Scottie Pippen jersey in the Garden and like being like awesome. 10 and having people being
I remember that. We were living on Milford Ave and Mom brought you and I was too young and I didn't get to go, and
you would have been like 4.
I was
like, I'm not bringing a 4-year-old to a basketball game in New York City. Like,
too much.
So you could fall asleep or start crying
or poop somewhere.
God damn it, Gump! Damn it, Gump!
Yeah, man. I mean, I remember the last.
Poop somewhere on the floor, is that what you said?
Just holding on to something. Like, where's John? And I'm just over there just holding on to something, just not moving. But I remember like with the whole last like couple of years.
With a whole mouthful of food in your mouth and just one cheek too.
Yep, absolutely. I still do that.
I know.
But yeah, no, I obviously don't remember the early years, but I mean just the end, and like I was just obsessed with it growing up. Like as a kid, like I read everything there was to read about the Bulls and Michael Jordan. It's like sitting there. It's like I feel like a kid again. It's like it's amazing.
Shout out to Joey for bringing us to see Space Jam. Do you remember that?
Oh my God!
And his like, I think he had like a Grand Prix or something like that.
Yes, he did. Oh my God! I totally forgot about that. Wow.
Probably one of the only times we hung out with Joey, but
Joey actually brought me and Grandma to go see Yankee Stadium before they knocked it down. We got a tour of Yankee Stadium. That was pretty cool.
That's cool.
I think I was probably like 10.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit older. But yeah, man, that's it's just like all reminiscing and just like watching that stuff. It's just the best.
I mean, honestly, I feel bad for the people who think LeBron James is like the greatest thing since sliced bread, and
spliced bread.
Dude, spliced bread. That's a new
bread.
It's a new bread. Where you take this, you got to get the seed and spiced bread. So stupid.
That's so dumb.
Dude.
Yeah, dude, no, I agree.
I was saying I feel bad. I'm sorry to cut you off. I feel bad. Go ahead. I feel bad for people who think he is like the greatest thing ever. And if honestly, LeBron would have maybe won me over if his approach was a little different and he wasn't so like, I don't know. There's something about him that just with his like, he's very insecure, and I feel like he just craves the attention. Yeah. Where like Jordan wanted to be like away from it, and he was more just like a real person because like, I don't know, like his competitiveness and everything is like, the only person that could ever even come remotely close is Kobe, in my mind.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously, we didn't see the older guys, and I'm sure there's going to be a million documentaries coming out now. But yeah, I agree. I mean, we're both on the same page. Like, obviously, LeBron is an amazing player. He's an amazing athlete. He's definitely top 5 all time. Yeah. Like, the dude's unbelievable. But it's the mentality is just completely different. And like you said, he's won. But he's,
I mean, the dude
he's always so concerned about
what everyone people else. Like people have to look at him. It's look at me all the time. Yeah. Like MJ you go to your kid's fucking basketball game and you're in the layup line, you're throwing yourself alley-oops and stuff and like dunking and stuff like in the layup line. Why? It's like,
why?
You're
on national television.
To me it's like, do you need to do that? Like, and you talk about, not wanting to put pressure on your son and stuff. It's like, well, you're kind of bringing it on him. Like, you're not being incognito. You're not hiding in the corner. Like,
dude, they cover his son's games on ESPN.
Exactly. Wow. And
LeBron James also owns ESPN. I'm pretty sure he has stake in ESPN because they love him.
Yeah. And again, well, I mean, I like when there's guys that actually call him out on his bullshit, but
yeah.
I just don't. I don't know. I feel like there's the guy, like, for someone like Jordan to really like put that kind of fear into like pretty much almost any team that he played, any like certain players, whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't know the last one, and I think it's going to come up this one where they're going to dip into like Reggie and stuff.
I can't wait.
And he's like, dude, Reggie Miller, you're good. But shut the fuck up, dude. Like, you are nowhere in that category. Like, you shot threes. Like,
he's dude. It's very cool to see. I saw something this morning and it said like Michael Jordan's probably the only person that is loved as a hero and a villain at the same time. And it's like, I mean, he's just. He's just.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how you even call that a villain. In any kind of way, though. It's like the guy is just, I don't know, it's just like he's on another level of being competitive, and he's like, you're not gonna beat me. And
I wonder if they meant like by villain meaning like people hated him, like the Knicks fans and stuff. Like, it's kind of like how Jeter was to the Red Sox. Everyone hated.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be a villain to the people that don't want to root for them.
Yeah, but then when he retires, they're like, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
And every Knicks fan is like, God damn, did you see Patrick Ewing? He's like, no, I'm not watching this shit. I had to live through it. I'm not watching it again.
Yeah. And then didn't he try coaching for the Bobcats or something too? He probably had to hear it from Jordan all the time.
I think he did. Like, hey, remember when Pippen
Jordan's probably like
sack across your face?
He's like,
and I wasn't even in the game.
Like, dude, don't do any sack drive drills over. Like, please do some finger roll from free throw line drills.
I mean, I was watching something on ESPN, and they were saying how like Jordan like crushed the dreams of so many teams because like once you ran into the Bulls in the 90s, it was like, you're not winning a championship, so
you're not coming out of it.
Like the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz had Hall of Famers.
Yeah, and they had a solid and
a very good team.
Look at this should shut anybody's fucking debate up about LeBron and Jordan. Jordan and his team. Who? Bill Wennington. Judd Bushler, like, look at these guys, and they weren't just sitting on the bench; they were playing in the game. Yeah. Those are his like teammates.
Yeah,
you had Pippen, Kukoc, Rodman. Rodman was, but like, you got to sub them out at some point. They're not playing the entire game.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like Steve Kerr can really. I mean, he was a nasty 3-point shooter, but it's like he's not crossing dudes up. Like, dude, LeBron's team. You know, like you go to Miami, you got D Wade, Bosh, you got Haslam, Birdman, Mario Chalmers. You got dudes that are like for days. Over there. You get like when he was and then his Cavs teams like we need more help. Like
his Cavs team when they beat the Warriors, they weren't super stacked because they lose Kyrie.
No. They had Kyrie. That's why they won.
Yeah, but I thought he got injured.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure.
I remember there was one team or 1 year that they won, and it was like he did put the team on his back. And I remember texting you and being like, dude, respect LeBron. And then he said some dumb shit like 2 days later, and I was like, back to hating him.
I was like, I felt like I was the greatest player of all time. Shut the fuck up, dude. I am sorry. Like, and I you know, I feel like I had to, as a basketball fan, like I went down, I went to San Antonio, and I was like, well, if I can see the Lakers play the Spurs, I'm going to do it. Like, I mean, I didn't get to see Kobe, and I actually really regret that. Like, and I actually could have had a chance. I was out in LA for a little while. I could have gone there. I went to a Clippers playoff game. I should have gone to like even just a crappy, like end of the season
Bobcats,
game or something,
Lakers.
like whatever, or something. I should have went to something.
Yeah.
But Bobcats. But like I got to see Jordan. Were you there for that?
For what?
The Jordan when he was on the Wizards?
Yes. Yep. I had pictures of that.
Play the Celtics?
Yep. Yeah. I had pictures of that.
So I mean, like as a fan and I appreciate like the athlete and the like the player LeBron is, but I just like people just need to stop that. Like don't even stop even bringing it up. It's not going to happen because anytime you continue to bring guys that are just like Anthony Davis, like, and then you're trying to add even more players to like your roster just to stack them up. Like, I don't know, man. Like Jordan won with, I feel like a lot of bums, like and a lot of.
I mean,
really,
like that. They had
names.
They had good players, but it was like
they just worked a system, and then Jordan was
they played such good basketball. I was
watching. They had the Suns. It was like the finals game where Jordan dropped like 50 something in a playoff game against the Suns in the finals.
Yeah.
Like what, dude? Like the dude fucking carried the team. Like, and when they were trying to shut him down, then he would, kick out or whatever. Yeah. He had his teammates, and if they, they would knock down shots, but they did it because he fucking probably would say, "I'm gonna beat the living shit out of you in practice." Like,
dude, I think it was just it was him. It was a quality of basketball that they were playing. Like the level of intelligence that these dudes had, like for the game. The coach, like Phil Jackson's amazing. Hopefully you read that book eventually. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down.
But yeah, it's all of it, man. It was just different, and it's great to see. I love watching it. I can't wait to watch it on Sunday.
And I was never a fan of like the Knicks really or the Pacers or anything. Nah. But like I've watched those documentaries. I love like the Reggie one. I really like, to me it's like I love that stuff. Like it was just even though they were kind of like the guys I didn't really care for,
it's still great.
I still appreciate them. Like I still appreciate, even though like John Starks, everyone tries to say he dunked on Jordan. Stop that right now. Jordan was like barely trying to help jump over some other guy to block him. Stop saying he. I met
John Starks. I met John Starks at Oronoke.
Yeah,
it was nice. I told Eric was working there. We just got done playing golf, and I saw him in the parking lot. Every fiber in my body wanted to be like, how did it feel getting that ass beat by Jordan all the time?
Yeah.
Just please, like, give me some insight. But I was like, but no, he was a really nice guy. I was like, John Starks. He was like, yeah, man, how you doing? Like, I'm doing well. And he was like, all right, well, have a good day. Hopefully you shot well today. I was like, yeah, not too bad. He was like, all right.
Like it's great. Like there was a long time I didn't like guys like Oakley. I hated Oakley. I
Yeah,
didn't even realize
he's an
he played
asshole.
on the Bulls for a long
Yeah,
time.
dude. Yeah,
I didn't even know that when I was a kid. Like I was
yeah.
like, he's a jerk. Like I can't stand him.
He's so mean.
He's so mean. Jesus. No, it's over there, little sweaty man. He's
Mom, why is he
laughing
so
him.
mean to
Him and
everybody?
that him and that Anthony Mason over there slapping all them mans around. Yeah. It's so brutal.
Oh my
But
god.
dude, yeah, I mean, I'm really sad that it's on the last two episodes.
I'll probably rewatch it again once a year.
Um,
It's gonna be
I
like Christmas. It's gonna be like Christmas story for me, or Christmas vacation.
probably is not a word. It's a definitely. I'm gonna watch it at least once a
I
year.
think I think we'll be replacing Christmas Vacation with 10 episodes of
At
Last
Christmas,
Dance.
at Christmas,
Yeah.
guys, you better sit down.
Yeah, we're watching.
We're
We're just
starting it at fruit salad. All
yeah,
right,
and we're watching it
and
the
it's
whole night.
all the way to dessert. All right,
10
presents and
hours.
everything, and you better be watching. We're taking notes.
Yep.
I
Oh
want to see
man.
your jump shot form.
Yeah.
But dude, what is so since you guys started this podcast, I'm gonna start asking you questions now.
Good.
What
We've
are
we've lost all the listeners.
dude, I
It's all
honestly
right.
don't care. No,
It's all right.
this is entertaining shit right here.
Yeah.
Um, what are I know you like the Joe Rogan podcast.
Mhm.
Trying to think of some of the other ones that you said. Fighter and the Kid was
Fighter
one
and
to
Kid is
listen to.
good. Yep.
I listen to Bill Burr a lot.
Bill Burr is good.
Um, I crack up with his. Honestly, he's
He's
probably
just
one of
so
the only.
angry.
He's one of the only ones I actually listen to the ads. He does
Because he reads it in a certain way. Yeah.
because he's like, so that and then he gets like frustrated.
Yeah.
He'll start like fucking.
Yeah.
He's like, Jesus Christ, this thing's fucking long.
Yeah, he's funny.
That kills me.
I don't know. I haven't been
This is fresh material. I haven't given.
Oh, you're freezing.
I'm sorry, but
you froze up for a minute.
Oh, I said this is fresh material. I haven't given you a heads up on these questions.
Oh, no.
To give you some chance to think about it.
No, I mean I like Joe Rogan podcast. Fighter and Kid's funny. Honestly, like Joe Rogan I listen to just for like specific guests. I don't listen to every episode. It's too much. Fighter and the Kid is funny. They've been annoying me a little bit with the whole like just anger around this whole virus thing. And then I working in I think I told you a while ago I listened to a podcast called Disgraceland, which talked about like musicians and like stories about musicians, which is pretty cool. They did a full segment on Jimi Hendrix that I've been listening to. That's pretty good.
That's cool.
Yeah. Or it's actually called, that one is it's a spin-off of Disgraceland called the 27 Club, which is like they're going to be doing segments about all the artists that died when they were 27 years old. There's like a ton of them. They're all famous. Yeah.
Wow.
Jimi Hendrix was the first one they did. But yeah, and then like anything that's like interesting. I like the Tom Segura and Christina P. That's funny. I usually listen to dumb shit, or I listen to like Gary Vee's okay every now and again, but he gets annoying. I just try to listen to stuff that either makes me laugh or interests me. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. That's kind of how I am. I mean, I haven't really gotten too deep into like podcasts and stuff. I want to start listening to stuff. I listen to your guys, and Joe Rogan. If I'm going to listen to something, so far it's really been like Joe Rogan, Bill Burr. Because I don't have a whole lot of time. It's usually like in the car or the truck.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm like working on something that is like kind of mindless, or like I'll just throw one earbud in and just like have some background, like listen to something funny.
Exactly. But if I'm like working, like if I'm doing something, I just play like random music or whatever. Something to just listen to.
Yeah.
I actually did. I did this once. I haven't really done it since, but it was kind of cool. It was I was in the truck. I was it's just probably through my phone though.
Mm.
But I did like I asked Google to play like tell me the news, and it just kept going. It was just like little segments of like different news sources, and it was like kind of just their headline stuff, cool. And they or it'd be like a story or whatever. And it was, I mean, I was getting stuff from Britain, fucking, you know, where like all kinds of different things that were, it was just kind of random. So it was actually not bad. It took up like probably a good 20 minutes, half hour.
That's pretty cool.
Just random things that just kept rolling. Yeah. And, you know, some of it was like maybe from a few days before or whatever, but like
NPR has
not bad,
pretty good stuff. That is like they do like the daily like wake. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like every morning they do a little segment, and it's like world news, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I just kind of try to find something that piques my interest, but that's about it. And we try like listening to that other stuff. I try not to carry it into this like that style because I want to be unique.
And, well, I mean, listen, you know, everybody, like, I think if you're trying to sit there and be like anybody else, people will see through that. And if you're just who you are, which is what you guys have been doing, yeah, I feel like that's going to be, that's fine. And honestly, I've been
fun, man.
Yeah. You know, I mean, you might have 3.5 listeners, but I mean,
dude, whatever.
Who cares? You know,
it's okay.
Like, dude,
one day it'll pop.
You got Deichel Jordan here, fucking hanging out. You know, I mean, you're blessed with you know, my superstar, you know, persona.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's you know, I think between you know, Eric and yourself, like you guys. You have some good insights, and
thanks, man.
And it's just,
I appreciate that.
Know, keep it interesting, and you both are fucking gabbers, so
yes, we are.
Definitely keep a conversation going.
Yes, we can.
That's for sure.
Yeah, but all right, man. We'll end it off on a positive note there, since you're giving me compliments. But this was a lot of fun, man, and I'll definitely be. I'll definitely be having you back as a guest host and a guest, so the three of us could talk. But yeah, this was a great time, and
I had fun.
Hopefully everyone makes it to the end. If you don't, it's okay. But this was a lot of fun.
If you stay to the end, you get a free cookie.
Oh man!
You get to watch me bleach my anus.
Oh my God. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen.
If that's not fucking Dave to a T.
And that's how we're going to end it.
It was good. It was good.
It was good
until there.
Up until that point.
Until that point.
You almost made it.
All right, guys. Here we go.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
all right, bro.
This was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
And I appreciate you having me on. And
thanks
I'll
for
call
joining.
you in 5 minutes. And
we'll chat more once I stop this recording. And
in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like Buddy the Elf there.
Yeah.
But all right, dude.
This is fun. I love you. Thanks for coming on.
Love you. And stay safe and
safe.
Wash your ass.
All right.
All right.
All right, bro.
All right, man.
All right.
You
See you later.
Take care.
All right,
See
bye.
ya.